It's the BC3 Amigos. We're back.
And better than ever.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so we're back and we're basically here today. We're kind of wondering what should we talk about because it's the end of February. Can you believe it? 2 months have gone by and we're sitting here saying it's freaking March and it's like, wow, I mean, 30 more days and we've got spring coming around the corner. So we're like, what should we talk about? We're kind of leaving winter in a way and we're getting into the new 2026 release wave. One's coming out in April, May. And then we're also got the conference season starting up. And a lot of things are just changing in Business Central. And we thought, why don't we take a moment to kind of break it up into three different worlds. We've got the world of Business Central that's kind of taking features that have been coming around for years and years, and now they're going to be mandatory. So get ready. If you haven't really looked at it or played with it, you got to get ready. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then we'll kind of jump into the conference season. There's a lot of conferences this year, a lot of other activities, meetups and road shows you should kind of look at and kind of get together and things we can talk about that. And then let's round it out with obviously what's coming out in May, which is the 2026 release wave 1. Let's talk about that. And just a few features, we're just going to mention them. We can't demo them. They're not really out there for prime time, but at least things you should start thinking about. Should I be doing that or should I be looking into this when obviously it comes out and maybe play with it for a little while and show my company? So, I think we should start off with Rob. Rob's got a bunch of features he wants to talk about that are going to be mandatory. So, Rob, it's all yours.
Well, thank you very much, Steve. I always wonder when Microsoft comes out with some new features, why some are automatic and you get them and others they let you, experiment with. And something that, I think is a real no-brainer is the new feature that's coming out that is going to be mandatory. You have to enable it right now if you're in version 27 or 26 if you haven't upgraded to 27 yet. That's the calculate only visible flow fields. When you open up the item card and there's a bunch of flow fields out there, sometimes that page takes time to load. And they created this feature, but they didn't make it mandatory or didn't have it automatically activate. So I think that's a no-brainer. Why didn't they just say, okay, wait a minute, we're only going to look at the flow fields anytime you open it up? Why did that have to become something you had to turn on?
I can't think of anything. I'm not a heavy tech person, but I'm guessing that it's all about the technical nature of the flow field, because it's taking up maybe some bandwidth to calculate upon opening a page and stuff like that, or maybe doing some sort of background calculation so it brings up the information. So I'm thinking maybe they're trying to improve performance by allowing you to kind of like say yes or no to them or something like that, maybe in a weird way.
Well, they said that the number one card that impacts performance is the item list. So if you have all of those flow fields automatically calculating, even if they're not visible, why wouldn't you, if it's already a feature that you can turn on, why would they even give you the option? Why wouldn't you just say, we're going to improve performance here? There you go.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. Why wouldn't you just turn it on anyway? Because it's going to, we need it. We want performance to be better. So why not just be on?
I could see other things, but performance, that should just be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rob.
So the other one that's coming up, and this has been out there, I can tell you that I did an implementation back in 2023, and it had to do with pricing. And there was the old standard pricing structure, and they had this new pricing experience that was available. And I said, well, look, I don't want to, if I'm going to build off of that, I don't want my client later on down the road when they deactivate the old stuff to have to turn around and change the way they're doing things. This has been out there, as I said, since 2023, and Microsoft kept pushing this feature saying, oh, it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. They are finally saying in 2028, it's going to be a mandatory feature.
Was it that it wasn't working? Wonder why it was.
No, I'm going to tell you what I believe. And remember, this all goes back to it's not just the governments that are screwed up with people buying money. I think partners have a real impact on what Microsoft says is going to be mandatory. There were mods built way back in the day that built off of the old pricing structure, and these partners didn't want to have to redo those mods. Now they finally are going to have to redo all those mods, because one of the things it says is when you turn on these features, you may have to work with your partner because there were extensions that had an impact on that. So again, I think this is something that there were mods built off the original pricing structure.
because I did a presentation on that like last year at Dynamics Con. No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
The
2
new
years
pricing
ago.
structure?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and 2 years. I know in the early days, 23 into 24, it was clunky and kludgy. There was some problems. I mean, I think they were getting through that, a little bit of it, because they found the bugs and the issues. But I thought in like 24, I mean, at least May 24, November 24, let's call it the two waves. I thought it was pretty stabilized. I mean,
Well, I did
everything.
too. Yeah. I mean, I turned it on.
I use it today. I mean, it's always on when I do it. I turn it on. There's no reason why not having it. I mean, it works well. There's nothing wrong with it. It's pretty self-explanatory now at this point.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So advanced Tell Me. I mean, that's such a powerful tool. I don't know why it was an option to turn it on. Being able, I can't tell you how many times I don't remember. What is the name of that? Is it the FA posting group? Is it the fixed asset posting group? Advanced allows you to just type in some portion of it and it finds it. It's like a super search.
What do you mean? I type in portions of words all the time.
No, this actually, it'll take a concept. Like if I want like a sales order, a sales statistics report, and I don't know the name of it, I can find it with just some portion of that text. It's more like
you can type in SALSTA and you would find it.
Possibly. Again, it's doing a more optimum search on text searches. So it's something that I think is just really going to help the user.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take away a feature; it just enhances.
Yeah,
that's again, why didn't it just get automated?
So if I type straight, Rob, it would bring me probably to the depreciation book of a fixed asset card. Kind of like is that what you're saying? Because I love the feature. That is. So you mean if I type the word Rob Del Prado, it potentially could bring up all my sales invoices to Rob Del Prado or purchase orders?
It could do something like that. Or it might bring up a picture of a hat.
Oh, my God. Oh, the hat. That's right. I've got the hat on the fixed asset. That's right.
Yeah, so is it combining like that company search with the other search?
I don't know quite how it works because you have to actually click in. So when you're in Tell Me, and by the way, the other thing you can do it when you go into that role search out the master list, you can do it in there. But there's actually a separate field. It's kind of like when you go into the ellipse, you actually get that advanced Tell Me. The regular Tell Me is there, but then you have the advanced Tell Me.
So you have to click on something else to get advanced?
Well, it's just off to the right of the actual Tell Me. Yes, it's right in there. It's like,
and that's still going to be that way once it's enabled?
I've had it enabled since it was available. That's why I'm like, why doesn't everybody use it?
Wow. I'm going to have to try this more.
So my question is it so you click and Tell Me and then you got to click again?
No. There's an extra like an ellipse in there, if you will. Like if you go to, I don't want to.
So you have the little spyglass and there's an extra feature up there?
There's Tell Me in advance. I wish I could, how do I want to say it? I don't want to share the screen because I'm lousy at switching toggles, but like there's Tell Me. And then to the right of that is advanced Tell Me. And you can click on that and it gives you better,
Why would you have two? Why wouldn't you just have advanced?
I don't know that. Maybe we need to send off something to Microsoft saying.
I'm just curious. I mean, they kind of do the same thing. One's just more powerful.
Yes, that's a great way to say it, Kim. One is more powerful.
I would always want the more powerful one.
Yes, I can imagine.
Hey, is it Everclear or is it just straight vodka? I mean, which one's more powerful?
You don't go for flavor?
Power. We're talking power here.
So what else you got, Rob? What else is on your list?
So the last thing I want to talk about, there are a couple of other ones that they're minor in my mind, but activating the MCP servers so that you can do agents. Again, not everybody's going to. I can get that, but if you're going to turn it on, why not turn it on for everybody? All
right, that's great. So, gang, we've got a lot of features coming out of version 28 or 2026 release wave 1 that are going to go mandatory. So, be aware of them. If you've never played with them, kind of jump into your feature management today. Look at the list that says permanent in 2020, version 28 coming up, and maybe start looking at it now in a sandbox before kind of the point. I don't want to say the point of no return, but before it becomes permanent. And guess what? You're going to want to say, what's that? What's that? What's that? So as Kim says, hey, Get ready.
Get ready.
All right. So, what we're going to talk about next is, we've got all these beautiful features coming out. We obviously have a new wave coming out, but, it's 2026 and the conference season is about to begin, and a lot of things happening, a lot of, conferences, a lot of places you're going to find the BC3 Amigos at speaking, attending. So figured, why not just do a round robin, go through all the conferences that we're going to be attending and speaking at, and also kind of places, you should look at, or places you should go on the web to kind of join some online learning experiences, webinars and things like that. So Kim, what do you got for us for 2026?
Oh, there's so much. There are, on Dynamic Communities, there's typically a video and an article posted every week from the All-Star experts. In addition, I believe there's a webinar being done just about every week. If not, it's every other week, and all kinds of different topics. And that's just ongoing. So that's not even the conferences. And they're all still out there. So it's not like if you didn't get last month, you missed it. They're still there. Still more information you can go get. And I think the next step up from that to me is road shows. There's one next week in Houston.
You're going to be there?
I am. Are you?
I think I am. Just down the road.
Just down the street. A little bit further from me, but that's okay. I don't have the list of all of them. I think Tampa just had one last week. That was a Doug meetup.
Washington did too.
Who did? Washington?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a Denver one coming. You really have to look at the websites and track Dynamics user group and the learner site for Dynamic Communities. These are typically all free. The regionals for Doug sometimes are a little bit of a cost. It's a donation. And those are great, face to face, which is what I like about those. You get to mingle with people. And then the conferences. So we start off for partners, directions in April. That is back in Orlando. Aren't we happy to go to Orlando again? What's fun about this one is there'll be a lot of Microsoft there. So they'll be showing the partner staffs all about the new 2026 Wave 1 changes that we're all excited to see. So we walk out of that with a lot of information. And the very next month, 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, we go to Dynamics Con in Vegas. I guess we're all speaking there. We don't know if we're speaking at Directions yet. And that, gosh, how many? There's like almost 70 Business Central sessions over 2 or 3 days. And they'll be on lots of topics from manufacturing to AI to, what am I thinking? Reporting.
Finance.
Finance, all over the board. Like we normally do the same type of groupings. After that, at least the three of us and other Business Central MVPs around the world will gather in Copenhagen once again and have some real sit downs with Microsoft about what's in, what's out. Maybe we'll be asking them why the heck they didn't auto turn on some of these features. But
I think we're going to have that. I'm going to make a snippet of this recording just around that section where it says, why wasn't this there in the first place? Why wasn't this there? And to play it and then have them answer the question.
That'd be great. That'd be great. And then normally we skip July, August, September with just having meetups and roadshows. Vibe 2.0 is coming in September. So that's new. Registration's already open for that.
Well, you went to that. You went to that, Kim.
I really enjoyed Vibe.
You went to that, didn't you?
Rob, you were there. I thought it was a good.
So the benefit of that, Steve, is that I learned more at that conference than I go to a normal conference, because normally at a normal conference, I'm giving. I felt like I got at Vibe. It was.
What'd you learn exactly?
I created my first agent. Among other things, I created my first agent. There was a session where people who do like us were partners, and they talked about how we might offer a better support program for our customers. In pricing, in terms of making it more reasonable, making it more understandable for the customer, so that when they call for support, or rather than just calling in arbitrarily, we have like a whole queue up for what they can do and what they can pick from. So that was a good learning process. There were some other sessions out there, but again, me being able to get my hands on something and make an agent, I'm like, wow, that was pretty good.
I really like that. And I think that's something that we're missing at conferences for both users and partners, is some hands-on the workshops. Those used to be so a standing room only kind of thing. You couldn't get into them.
Yes.
Seats were limited, and the workshops. So I'm doing a workshop on building Excel reports, right, that you save back into BC at DynamicsCon. And I'm looking forward to that, because I did a short one at Vibe, and there were very few people, but they all walked away going, I learned something, right? And if you can learn a piece or two when you go to these conferences, besides all the, physically learn something you can take home, besides the conceptual things that you learn. I went to a great session on change management, and another one on project management. And it was really talking to partners mostly on a higher level, not so much functional or technical, how you program or any of those things. So I'm interested to see what 2.0 brings. And then, of course, we've got the big one. And I know the call for sessions is out, and the academy is being put together. So it's going to be another great time in Nashville.
So much, guys. I mean, can you believe this? There's so much going on this year between the road shows, the road shows. I think they're mostly this half of the year, maybe a little bit into the summer, but with all the conferences we're going to be at together, with all of the speaking we're going to do at all the major conferences. Again, we don't know about directions yet, but of all the places we're going to be, it's just going to be amazing. I mean, the learning that we're going to give, to everybody, and all that information that's going to get out there, it's phenomenal. I mean, it's too much. I mean, I love the fact that, we and then of course our articles and our blogs, like you say, we keep putting out. And so I hope everybody's learning something from us. And if we forget something, if we forget a topic, reach out to us. Please, please, please reach out and tell us what you want to learn. We can always do a 5-minute video on something very, very fast and furious.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't talk for under like 10 minutes. I try to do a 5-minute video, and it ends up being 12 minutes and 30 seconds or 9 minutes and 19 seconds. Under 5, sorry, not going to happen.
All right. Disclaimer. We're going to do a 5-minute video that's really classified, that really the length is 10, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
All right. So
So Steve, one of the things I want to talk about that I flubbed up on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago. Alexander Todovic was talking about a new feature that I thought was like a no-brainer: self-billing invoices. And I'm like, oh yeah, my clients, we do a lot of work where we have to bill ourselves. And I got shot down so fast, it wasn't funny. I mean, people were like, no. What I didn't know, and this is primarily over in Europe, but there are companies over here that can utilize this. So take, for instance, a company who gets grain. They get grain delivered to their doorstep, but it's on a truck. And the person who was actually shipping it, the guy the grower, the wheat farmer, he didn't know exactly how much was on there. And it's when it gets dropped off at the doorstep of the buyer that they actually know the tear of the truck and how much he's actually dropping off for purchase. So he knows at that point how much he's going to get charged. Now, the farmer doesn't know that because they just loaded the truck and away it went. So in Europe, they have this program. It's basically an agreement between the vendor and the supplier and the customer. And the supplier agrees that he will accept what the buyer is buying based on the measurements that come off of whoever he is delivering that goods for. And that he needs to create a self-billing invoice, meaning I need to post a purchase invoice and email it off to my supplier. and the supplier then gets that and puts it into a system. So I was totally wrong on that. But here's the thing. I mean, we could do that here in the U.S. Imagine, Steve, we did that company a couple of years ago where they deliver or they receive gravel. I mean, theoretically, they know what they're receiving. So they could do that too.
That would be
I never knew.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a niche solution, right? But yeah, I can definitely see that. I couldn't figure out what you meant by self-billing, but that was a great example, Rob, to make it sink in for me.
Well, when they said self-billing, I was like, I'm billing myself.
So let's talk more about that. Rob did a great segue right into kind of our last topic of our podcast today, and that's basically 2026 release wave 1, version 28. So what are we really expecting? We're only going to talk very, very few things here. There's way too much to talk about, but we're only going to...
I know.
What do you know?
More AI.
That, I think, is a give me. But the coolest thing about that is the way you said that actually is pretty impressive, and let me explain why. So one of the coolest things is that Microsoft is getting into what is called, it's shifting the AI concept into AI ERP, which is basically the new autonomous Copilot agents. So by having autonomous ones, it's not so much in BC anymore, that sales agent, payables agent, it's outside. And it will talk to BC when it needs to. So you have this expense agent. Can you believe it? Expense agent. We all know we've lived in this product for God knows how many decades. Expense reporting, expense agent now is coming out, and it will allow you to start doing your expense reports in through the expense agent and send it back to BC to do the proper processing. So that's something completely new, and it's coming out in version 28. You'll get to play, everybody's going to get to play with it and use it. It has a cost. Don't get me wrong here. It has the same cost as the other agents, I call it the click cost. But there's also a fulfillment agent, and that's more in the preview stage. It's not really fully vetted yet and not much information about it, but it is coming out, a fulfillment agent that might integrate with BC and what it might do. Another cool thing, get this, and I hope you guys are shocked, but we're really going to get into better approval workflows. The whole approval workflows
Thank goodness.
For supply chain operations, drop shipments, approval workflows maybe for POs related to possibly subcontracting. So that whole drop shipment enhancement is taking, finally after decades of drop shipments, the basic decades, it's getting the love it needs to kind of streamline the process between distributors and manufacturers and customers and stuff. So that whole drop shipment is getting a mini overhaul, let's call it. Another cool thing is the fact that, with the fulfillment agent, and when you think about it, it's designed to accelerate the order processing. So, enhance workflows for drop shipments. So effectively, you'd have an approval workflow that went to your drop ship vendor to do a drop shipment for you, for your customer, to get an approval to say it's going out the door. So there's, again, that workflow communication that we've all loved and dreamed about to kind of enhance the fulfillment side of the business, which is drop shipments and other areas, in there.
I saw something about more workflows too on the finance side.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see more workflows on the finance side, whether it be cash receipts or some other areas that need it from an internal control.
So many areas that could use improvement.
Oh my God, it's too many. But another cool one that's coming out, and this one I'm intrigued, and that's only because you know me, guys. I like manufacturing, and I kind of like this area. So there is going to be love for the subcontractor or subcontracting, features inside of Business Central. And it's going to allow us to basically support the more complex production and delivery models that we just can't do today because we have very simplistic models that the subcontracting can work off of. But the fact that it will go there and kind of take it to that next level of subcontracting that we need for more complex manufacturing and more complex things that will make subcontract a little more palatable when it comes to complex relationships between the routing and the subcontracting and the vendors. So I'm extremely excited about that, dying to see the features come out in a couple of months, that we're all going to see it probably starting in April when they start doing the videos at Microsoft for all the new features.
So Steve, is that third party or outside vendor, is that going to be like a separate location too, that it'll automatically go out somewhere else because it's no longer in your inventory?
We're not sure yet. I'm hoping it accounts for all of that. I'm hoping it accounts for the fact that I have to deliver merchandise to somebody, to part merchandise, part not merchandise. I hope it takes it to another level with regard to that. The notion that I'm either delivering merchandise to them to fulfill a process, a subcontract, or I'm basically letting material be stored there, and it's the subcontractor is eating material. So I'm hoping it takes it to that more complex level that we kind of always have to manually.
Yeah, tell the auditor, believe me, it's over there.
Yeah, it's over there. I know it is. I know it is. Two questions. Sustainability.
Yeah.
I think I might have a client who's interested in some sustainability. I know, first one, right? So, Rob, what do you know about sustainability?
So it's becoming more, they're tracking more than just the water anymore. It's going to be CO2. It's going to be some of the other features that are out there. And by the way, Kim, I just met a guy at the hockey rink who said, "Hey, I hear you do sustainability." He says, "I got a customer who's looking for that." I mean, it is, people, believe it or not, it is coming to the U.S.
It is. It is. What was my second question?
Oh, well, you're thinking about that. I'm going to mention two more little things, and they're really short and sweet. The other big thing we're really going to get hit, a nice big breath of fresh air again, is more Power BI. We are getting more and more Power BI. We're going to get more audit reports. We're going to get more of the new Word layouts. We're going to get more Excel-based reporting for financial reporting. So we're going to get a whiff of all of that in 2028. So be prepared. It will grow. It never stops. Every wave, every few months, we're seeing constant change in those three areas. So keep watching. The 28 is not going to be, it's going to be a nice push of new features and functionality there. And one last thing I want to talk about is the fact that they are addressing, I call it, they're trying to do some next gen stuff in the financial automation arena. Not what Rob said, because Rob did mention the whole self invoicing, but more along the lines of that e-document payments. They're trying to get more of that, and we're getting more of that in America, worldwide actually. They are getting into excise tax. Kim, don't kill me.
Are you all seeing e-documents?
I haven't touched it yet. I haven't played with it much. I did play with it a little bit, but I haven't really done much with it other than, because EDI is obviously prevalent, and there's other AP automation. So I haven't really dabbled a lot in it heavily. I'm assuming it's because of overseas where it's very required now. It's mandatory, and it's still not a mandatory thing in some certain countries. But excise tax is coming, and last but not least, you mentioned sustainability, which is going to be really big. I know there's
I got a question for Kim. She's our financial reporting hero here. So Kim, I have people who, you build your account schedule, your financial report, and they have different departments. So we've got like maybe 8 GL accounts, and we have the department attached to them. It would be nice. Maybe you have an in with somebody that you could then append those same GL accounts down below and change the department number so that I don't have to rekey or reinsert 25 more GL accounts out there. Man, that would be sweet.
Once upon a time you could do that.
Really?
and then once upon a time you could, and then it changed. I'm going to tell you, I just use a config pack and do it. But
yeah, I'm going to do a config pack, but it would be nice.
I've been really cheerleading for some love in that respect on better ways to get, whether it's salesperson as a dimension or department as a dimension, just better ways to get some reporting out for that. I got my fingers crossed. All I'm reading is
it's coming.
It's coming.
More proactive reporting.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Tell me, please.
How cool would it be is every time you create a new item, you get the dimension for the item on there or some other category. And that way, when you do a sales order from that salesperson, you could do an analysis by salesperson of the items he sold.
Why? Here's my thing. I know that half the customers you do, maybe less, but they want to track things by not an item group, but an item dimension.
Yeah.
And there's no way. So every time they add an item, you got to add a dimension value. Well, that's a lot of trouble. Or a customer, I need to add a customer dimension value. So how many times have we written programs to go and create those automatically? I had somebody do it for POs one time, right? They wanted dimensional reporting, financial reporting by the PO number. That would,
or even maybe projects.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much of that. They started asking us when we do a GL account change or add one, do we want, to review the financial reports, which is a great reminder versus remembering to go back and do it. Maybe some of those agents can help us build those.
Yeah,
and I think if people learn to build agents more, it's going to be, oh, you want that? Click, click, click here.
Yeah.
So one last thing before we kind of conclude here, but this one's wild. Images and attributes on the item variants. So we're taking our attributes and images and now getting it down to a variant level. So for instance, a great example, I was impressed because of the fact that when you think about a variant, I think of size, color, and style, clothing, right? Now I've got a picture at the variant level and the attributes affiliated with those size, color, and style. So now it's more of an attribute level than it is a variant code level. So as crazy it is, and when I think of that, I'm like, wow, this is going to become really cool. And I wish they were doing more love for the variant in the manufacturing space, because I still believe that bombs and routing
things.
So many things, and it's so, it needs more love, and it does. One thing, guys, to note who's listening to us, guess what? If you go out to the web and type the word www.bc3amigos.com, you will see our website now. We will be populating in it. Tons of our recordings are going in it from our podcast, all of our articles and blogs that we push out. We're slowly filling that system up on a continuous basis. So we're going to keep populating and keep growing it. Give us a lot of love. Say hi, say hello. Send us a like on LinkedIn and stuff, and tell us, hey, we're doing a great job. And again, if there's some topic we haven't hit upon, or whether it be a short recording or training with something, reach out to us, because we're always here for you guys, because that's what we're here for. We're here to really teach you Business Central. So I think it's basically we're at our time here, and we're here at the end of February. So we can't even say Cinco de Mayo yet. We can't say it's April Fool's Day yet. All we can say is Shamrock Day is coming up. So maybe we'll do a little, Lucky Charms, BC3 Amigos next month. And because, I think I want to have Rob wear his, Shamrock cowboy hat, instead of his typical one here. So what do you think, Kim?
I think we can find one.
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be great.
All right, guys, you have a good time. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you in March.
Adios, everybody.